How you doing, folks? I get frequent questions about this portfolio when I'm walking around classes or just walking around in general. And folks are usually shocked when I tell them I made this myself. It took 60 plus hours to make. I really don't know how long it took because I didn't keep track. This is just one of many things that I've made so far. You know, wallets, book covers, portfolios, bags. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what else I'll make at some point in time. Maybe a whip or whatever. Anyhow, there's just a lot of things you can do with leather. So today, because folks asked me how do you make this, I'm going to show you a general process of how I make a wallet. Um, First, I'm going to show you a couple of books that I use to teach myself, because I'm basically book taught on, or self-taught through books on how to do all this stuff. So this is the first book. You can get this at Tandy Leather Company. You can also get this book at Tandy Leather Company. The green book is a great one for learning what casing is, how leather is tanned, different varieties of tools. It's a great starter book for being able to learn how to do this. This book, on the other hand, this one is for lacing. Um, and lacing is a different way of being able to stitch your things together without using thread. It's actually using strips of leather to put things together and make it look a little bit more decorated. Alright, so have to have a design first. We're going to make a wallet, so we need a little bit smaller design. This one's about 3 by 3 in size. The person I'm going to make this wallet for is a fan of the Iowa Cyclones, so we're going to put that on our wallet. You need a blank, which is going to be your piece you're going to put your design on and the main part of your wallet. You need to cut out your inside pieces as well. Here are the inside pieces for this one. Alright, and the way I do that for mine, I've got a lot of leather and I've done a lot of wallets, so I have templates that I use. I just trace and then use a head knife to cut all that out. That head knife is rather sharp. I can actually take hair off of my arm with it. You want it extremely sharp because otherwise you'll get rough edges on your leather. And it's also easier, believe it or not, to slip and cut yourself if you have a dull knife. So once you have your blank, you've cut out your pieces out. Next thing you need to do is transfer your design to a piece of tracing film. And the tracing film is how you're going to get your design onto your leather. You're going to wet down the leather. You can just use regular water. You can buy some stuff at the store. It's called Easy Carve. It's supposed to help as far as burnishing. And burnishing is when you go to stamp, the edge of your design where it's been compressed will darken, and that can add another dimension to your designs. So I've already done a little bit of doodling on this one. We're going to, let's see here. We'll just trace feathers on the top of the head here real quick. This leather's already been wet down. Wetting down the leather is called casing the leather. You really have to get a feel for figuring out what the proper amount of water content in the leather is in order to be able to get decent designs to come out. Because if it's too wet, it'll be like molding clay. If it's too dry, your designs won't stay in the leather. So I've already wet this down, let it kind of dry. It's starting to return back to its normal color. So you see how that design's on there now. I'm going to cut that in with my swivel knife. And you want to go about half the thickness through the leather. I think I may have got a little bit more than that this time, just so that way you can see what's going on. Alright, and then as far as stamping goes, you're going to use a bunch of these little tools. And these tools, I've probably got 100 or so myself, and that's a very small fraction of all the tools. And there's all different varieties of them. They get as large as, I'd say, approximately a centimeter by centimeter. and go all the way down to pinpoint size practically. Alright, so you're going to put the edge of this down in your cut line, and then you're going to hit it with a mallet. The mallet I use, the rawhide mallet. You do not want to use anything metal as far as a hammer goes. You don't want to use a regular claw hammer for driving nails on these tools because you'll actually damage them. What you can use are rawhide mallets. They're preferable, or you can use poly mallets or a poly maul. Alright, so after you've transferred your design, you've stamped it out, then it's going to be time to start putting these little notches in. These little notches are slots. They go all the way through the leather. They're for lacing. The lacing for the wallets that I make the lacing holds everything together. I don't use any stitching on my wallets, even though I could use hand stitching. If you have anything at the store, like genuine leather wallets at the store, they're generally not going to be anything handmade, and handmade quality is going to be much better than what you're going to find at those stores, because those are all machine stitched, and a machine stitch it's not the same. Those books will actually go through and explain part of that as to what the big difference is. You can also go to Facebook. I've got a page on there called Tree of Life Leatherworks. I've got a whole note on the difference between, hand stitch versus, lock stitch, and lock stitch is a machine stitch, and why one's better than the other. Alright, so I've transferred the design already. I've stamped it out. I've put my slots in, so now it's time to go ahead and do my coloring. And the reason why you want to do slots before coloring is so if you use a background color, you can color the inside of the slots, because otherwise natural leather color will show up through, and that makes your product look a little tacky. So, we've already done the coloring on this. I'm going to show you what you do to the inside now. These pieces are obviously all apart still, so then you're going to put them together with, I use a double loop lace myself on this, and that double loop lace will be shown inside that book as far as how to do it. Once you've done that inside part, you can start stitching all of your pockets to your blank that you've already decorated and put slots in as well, and you can come out with a product similar to this. This is another wallet I've been working on. I've gone all the way around here. The only thing that needs to be done now is just finishing up this little gap for the stitching, and then this wallet will be completed after I put, where is it? There it is, my conditioner on here. Conditioner is going to do a couple things. It's going to waterproof the leather, or help make it a little bit more waterproof, and it will also help the leather stay supple, so that way it doesn't crack and start breaking apart. My wallet is here. I've been using this wallet for 4 years, I believe it is now. You can see it's got plenty of life left still. It hasn't come apart yet. The other nice thing is my cards. Guys, I'm sure you kind of get annoyed when your credit cards and or driver's license, things like that, start cracking and breaking because of sitting on your wallet all the time. I've noticed with this, I haven't had that problem. I used to have that problem, but I don't with it anymore. So if you have any questions or want to see how something in particular is done, let me know, and maybe I'll create another video for that in greater detail. So yeah, check out my Facebook page, Tree of Life Leatherworks.